Hello everybody, it's AMS. Here recently found a gentleman on YouTube, Smokeeater 908. He makes different types of stoves, does some other different types of reviews. I bought a few things from him, and he makes what's called the Hiker Stove. And he was kind enough to do a DIY video on the Hiker Stove. And so I thought I'd give my hand a try at it and just see what happens. So I've made the stove. The stove's right here in the center. You have here is HEET, and the reason it's this color is because I've added food coloring to it so you can see it. Hardware cloth, pot stand, have a monster pot here, and then the Snow Peak is the Snow Peak 600 titanium cup, and it has approximately 2 cups of water. So I'm going to light the stove. I just made this. It took me about 4 minutes to make. We're going to see how it burns. Alright, so right now the way you see the stove with the lid on it is in simmer mode. So I'm going to put it in high mode, and we're going to add 1 ounce of fuel to this stove. We're going to go ahead and put the stand on the stove. And I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever that there's going to be an issue with this stove working. So let's go ahead and ignite it. So I have the stove lit, and I'm going to go ahead and add 2 cups of water to my pot. And we're going to set this on it, and let's go ahead and start the countdown on it. Let's see if you guys can see the countdown. A little clock, and I'll move this around a little bit. So while that's cooking, just a few tools that you need to make this stove. The hardest thing that I found was trying to find these little tins. I looked everywhere. On his video that he made, he talked about going to the dollar store and locating these tins, 3 for $1. I had no luck whatsoever, and I'm in the Dallas area, and no luck finding these stoves. The other items that you're going to need are going to be the carbon felt. This is what welders use. Ruler. Hole punch, scissors or some other cutting device, and a stapler. On his video that he made, he gave some links that you could use to locate these items. One of those links is to Tillman. They produce welding supplies, and so if you get $25 or more, you get free shipping with them. Here's the 3x3 blanket. This was like 22 bucks. The first piece of carbon fiber that I showed you is a 12x12 square. And I went ahead and bought it so it would put my order over the $25, so I wouldn't have to pay shipping on it. As you can see, we're at like 2 minutes 29 seconds or so, and I already have a lot of fish eyes inside the pot. We'll pull this up. Look, there's the fish eyes. So you can see the stove's very efficient and right now it's burning on high. To put it on simmer mode, all we do is add the ring to it, and it cuts down the burn, the actual flame output on it. We're at 3 minutes and about 8-9 seconds, and you can see even more. This is almost at a boil. I'm very happy with this stove. Like I said, it's just to get all the supplies that I needed. I had to buy a container of 30 of these canisters. Then the felt and all. So I have about $50 total tied up into this project. But we'll be making these stoves and selling them for a few dollars. I think my scout troop might do that as a project. Let the boys make a couple for themselves, and then go from there with them. As you can see, right now I'm inside, of course, so we don't have any wind problems, but you can take this carbon felt and you can actually make a windscreen for this, in which, you know, if the good thing with this carbon felt, even if the flame was to touch this, it will not burn. So, you know, and then of course you just kind of put this around the stove, but you can see with an ounce of fuel in there, the output that this thing has on it is just unbelievable. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to use a pair of pliers or something here to pull this off. But like I said, it's almost to a boil, and we're at 4 minutes and 40 seconds. Here's the inside. This pot is one that he made out of the Monster Energy can, and then what he does to give the cans support is he makes a ring that he puts on the inside of these, and he even has a do-it-yourself video on how to do that yourself. That's still in frame there. So we're at 5 minutes 32 seconds, and here's what it looks like. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull this off. It's starting to boil now. I actually have bubbles starting to make their way to the surface. It's not a rolling boil at 6 minutes, but you know, that's pretty good. If I wanted to cook something or whatever, that's all that I would need there. I'm going to go ahead and pull it off, and we're going to put the simmer ring on it. So I'm going to stop it at 22.5. And we'll pull the can off. I'll go ahead and use my pliers to remove the wire cage. And I'm going to go ahead and use another can just to kind of snuff it out. Alright, now let's put the simmer ring on it. Okay, now there's a simmer ring. Now remember, we still just had the 1 ounce of fuel in it. Alright, so we still have fuel. You can see the difference in the flame output with the simmering on. So, and let's put our pot back on. And let's start our stove back. So of course, you know, backpacking and all cooking, you know, basically all you really do is wind up boiling water to use on your dehydrated meals and stuff. But, you know, if you wanted to do something a little different, then, you know, you could use the simmering and actually cook at a lower temperature, or a lower flame output rather. I wouldn't say lower temperature because it's going to be the same temperature, just a lower output. But anyway, we'll go from there. The stoves that he makes like this, they can be bottle fed, and what he does, he puts a nipple onto the side of it with a silicone hose and a fuel bottle, and then you just squeeze it as it starts to go down, and adjust your flame that way, or just a top feed like this. And this is the way we'll leave it, because you know, you got to buy the nipples, and then you got to take the time to insert the nipples into the can and epoxy them in there and all that other stuff. And it's just so much easier to do it this way. As you can see, an ounce of fuel, we're at 7 minutes and 42 seconds, and the water is back to doing exactly what it was when I pulled it off. It is at a slight boil. It's not at a rolling boil yet, but you can see it's at a slight boil. And really, that's all we need. So, very efficient stove. If you can find these tins anywhere for $3-4, like you said at the Dollar Tree, you know, that and about $1.50 or so for a bottle of HEET. The most expensive thing is going to be this carbon fiber for you. But like I said, you can, as you can see, we're at a boil now. So you can, you know, it's like $3, $5 for the carbon fiber square, 1 foot square, and our stove is still going. I took that off about 840, so I'm going to say, you know, 840ish at a simmer. We got the boil. You know, any questions, shoot me a message and I'll try and answer them for you. Again, this idea came from Smokeeater 908. You guys check his channel out. A lot of good information out there, and give me a subscription. Peace.